Tonight, we start off by taking a look at a master cooking class taught by Auburn University alum and chef. We will also take a look at UPC's Halloween Smash Tournament. Then we'll inform you about Beat Bama Food Drive's Girl Dinner.
We'll also take a look nationally by updating you on a mass shooting that took place in Maine and the speaker nomination of Louisiana representative to the House floor. Finally, you'll get today's Take a Look at This and your Auburn Fun Fact of the Week. All that and more is coming up next on Eagle Eye's Thursday News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Lily Stewart.
And I'm Brady Huneycutt. Auburn alum and owner of Rockstar Kitchen, Justin Robinson, made his way back to the Plains to host a cooking class masterclass at the Tony and Liba Rain Culinary Science Center. Eagle Eye's Zach Card tells us more.
At the Rain Culinary Science Center's Auburn alum and chef Justin Robinson, or Chef J-Rob, is teaching the group behind me how to turn a boring chicken into 3 delicious meals.
My name is Justin Robinson. I'm known as the Rockstar Chef. I actually got my start here on the Plains, so it's crazy enough that I'm a guest culinary instructor here today. Started my business from scratch, and I'm able to come back and kind of pour into the students, let them know the tips and tricks of the trade, and actually have some guests come in and learn how to make some pretty cool dishes.
These dishes include a Gouda garlic parm chicken leg lollipop, a jerk-style chicken thigh, and honey-drizzled fried chicken, along with a vegetable medley the whole class worked together on. All of it seasoned with the Rockstar Chef's seasoning, including the groupies, crowd surfer, and the keys. First, Chef J-Rob taught the class how to break down a whole chicken.
So you want to first analyze your chicken. So you see right here there's joints, right? And same thing on the back.
After getting instruction from the chef, the guests picked up a knife and got to work on their own chicken. They prepared all 3 dishes with help from some of the best and brightest from the Culinary Science Center.
Is that people can sign up to come to this culinary class, walk through A to Z on how to prepare a dish, pair it with a great wine. But even more thrilling for me is that I'm working with the actual culinary students, this is what they already love. This is what they're majoring in. So being able to pour in different opportunities and connect them and hopefully offer some opportunities down the line is more than satisfying.
Just like many of these students, he also got his start on the Plains. Justin Robinson became Chef J-Rob in Glen Hall in the Quad.
I really discovered that cooking was my passion when I would feed people in my dorm, like, this tastes really good, and that brought joy to me. So kind of being able to do this back on the Plains is amazing.
You may recognize Chef Justin Robinson from Auburn alumni's 20 under 40 list, or on nationally televised cooking shows such as MasterChef, Chopped, Iron Chef Showdown, and Chow House.
The only other thing I want to say to anybody watching is always follow your passion. It's never too late to start, and keep rocking and rolling.
For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Zach Card.
If you are a TikTok user, you may have heard a little jingle about Girl Dinner, a simple yet personalized meal that is rooted in a spread of your favorite things. The Beat Bama Food Drive hosted their own upgraded version of Girl Dinner at Village Dining. On the menu for Girl Dinner was cheese quesadillas, Caesar salad, charcuterie boards, tater tots, and hot chocolate. With an amazing turnout, Girl Dinner was a success.
UPC's video game committee hosted a thrilling Halloween-themed Smash Brothers tournament in the Student Center game room this week. This seasonal night of gaming included epic battles and free food. Eagle Eye TV's Joe Champagne tells us more.
The University Program Council hosted a Halloween Smash Bros tournament in the Harold D. Melton Student Center Wednesday night. Eagle Eye got a chance to speak with UPC Director of Video Games, Jackson Green, about this event and what it means to him.
Yeah, so this event basically we're running a Super Smash Bros tournament. We've done it in the past before, but especially with the game room now, it's just there's so many possibilities. So we're trying to do bigger events, and so we've got everything set up. We're getting pizza, we got snacks, food, and basically we host free events for students to come and casual competitive tournaments. So we got prizes, and it's just like getting a community of people together and just making connections.
Green also spoke about how this new addition to the Student Center has been an impact on Auburn's campus.
It's been a huge impact. There's always people down here playing games. It's just given Auburn students, like, just especially the gamers, but also people who aren't necessarily gamers, who just want to come and try something different or just play a few games, just like an outlet to just do whatever. And some people might not have access to all these consoles and PCs and high-end PCs, and it just gives everyone just an area to do that and just hang out, and just a cool creative space, and also gives us in UPC and the video games committee just an outlet to be able to host events and just have all this cool technology compared to in the past where we'd have to run it in different locations with projectors and all that. It makes things easier, but also makes things smoother and like better.
Students lined up outside the game room awaiting this spine-chilling tournament, and we got a chance to speak with one of the participants.
It's been great just because it's a nice break throughout the day, so if you're real stressed between a test or something, maybe you've got like 2 or 3 hours to kill and not much homework, just come here, hang out, play a game.
This was a great event to gather students together for an exciting night of fun. Stay up to date on AU Involved so that you don't miss any great events like these in the future. Reporting from the Melton Student Center game room, I'm Joe Champagne.
When we come back, we'll inform you of a mass shooting that took place in Maine last night and the selection of the Speaker of the House. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn News Leader.
Right now, a mass shooting suspect is at large in Maine. An urgent and extensive manhunt is underway for the suspect, who authorities say opened fire in 2 locations, killing at least 18 people and injuring more than a dozen. Mike Valero is in Lewiston for the latest.
Well, Lewiston is still shut down. In the background, just a couple yards away from where we're standing, beyond the tractors down the road, that is the second crime scene where the gunman opened fire in the middle of a crowded bar. The main essential question going forward is still, where is the suspect and just how long will this lockdown last?
I suggest that you go. We have an active shooter, and we're not sure where he's at.
A tight-knit community on edge, a shelter-in-place ordered in multiple towns in Maine as heavily armed officers search for what they say is an armed and dangerous killer.
There is now arrest warrants for murder for this particular individual, Mr. Card. So he is viewed as a suspect, and there is a full court press by all of our partners to bring him into custody.
Police advise that Maine people should not approach him under any circumstances.
Chilling surveillance images released show the moments the mass shooting suspect's deadly rampage began. First at a local bowling alley hosting a youth night for a kids' bowling league, and then traveling about 4 miles to the second scene at a restaurant.
A place to go have a good time and have fun. And then we get somebody that's crazy like that walk in and do what they did, you know.
I never thought I'd grow up and get a bullet in my leg. Like, why do people do this?
According to law enforcement, the suspect, 40-year-old Rob Card, is a military-trained arms instructor who suffers from several mental health issues, including hearing voices, and made threats to shoot up a National Guard base. He'd been committed to a mental health facility over the summer.
Nerves are rattled right now.
And as for where we move forward, as to the question of why this all happened, law enforcement, our team has now learned they are pursuing the theory that perhaps this gunman was at both of these locations because he recently broke up with a girlfriend, and those are places, a bowling alley and a bar, where they both frequented in the past, and the girlfriend might have been at the bar supposed to take part in a cornhole tournament. That's the latest. Reporting here in Lewiston, I'm Mike Valerio. Back to you.
After 3 weeks of gridlock, a swell of momentum behind Republicans' 4th pick for House Speaker, Karen Caifa, is in Washington with the latest on the vote on the House floor and whether Congress can get back to full speed.
House Republicans with a vote Wednesday on their 4th nominee to replace Kevin McCarthy as Speaker.
Today is the day that House Republicans will humbly look in our hearts and elect Mike Johnson as Speaker of the People's House.
And this time, closing the deal.
The challenge before us is great, but the time for action is now, and I will not let you down.
Late Tuesday, Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson emerged as the latest pick to wield the gavel after a wild day that saw House Majority Whip Tom Emmer win the nomination and hours later drop his bid, lacking support to win a floor vote. Johnson, an attorney with a focus on constitutional law, was first elected to the House in 2016, serving on the House Judiciary and Armed Services Committees.
Mike Johnson is a good man, and I think as you saw last night, that we are ready for a leader.
He's a tremendous congressman.
An ally of former President Donald Trump, Johnson was a key congressional figure in failed efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries critical of Johnson's record, but open to finding ways to work together.
All Mike Johnson will need to do is to meet us in a bipartisan way in that fashion, and we'll be able to work together whenever and wherever possible.
Members of both parties eager to get back to work.
We need to get after the mission, and I feel excited that Mike Johnson's the guy that can bring us together and get us back focused on what we said we would do.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
When we come back, we'll give you today's Take a Look at This, your Auburn Fun Fact of the Week, and more. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader. A crazy caught-on-camera moment you have to see to believe, as a windsurfer captures a crazy collision with a flying whale. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
An incredible close encounter has left an Australian windsurfer with a whale of a tale to tell. In a blink or you'll miss it moment, Jason Breen, windsurfing off the coast of Sydney, is suddenly wiped out by a massive breaching whale. A slow-mo replay does justice to the amazing moment. But make no mistake, it was a scary moment as well, as the airborne collision left the 55-year-old sportsman trapped underwater. It was only when his arm strap snapped that he was able to make his way to the surface. Back on land, the folks at SeaWorld San Diego were blessed with a rare encounter of their own, the first birth of an emperor penguin chick in 13 years. Hatched on September 12th, the park says the chick is gaining weight steadily on a diet of fish and fish milkshakes. They're also asking the public for help in naming this little cutie. Emperor penguins are currently listed as a threatened species, and SeaWorld San Diego says they are the only zoo in the Western Hemisphere where the species can be found. Finally, since we're on the subject of rarities, take a look at what may be the world's most famous stamp. Called the Inverted Jenny, the stamp was famously printed upside down by mistake in 1918 and has since become an icon of collecting, appearing everywhere from the New York Times to an episode of The Simpsons.
The airplane's upside down.
This fall, one lucky bidder will get a chance to own a near-mint example when it goes to auction in New York City. Organizers say it's expected to fetch as much as $2 million. Not bad for a botched job. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The skin color on Dwayne Johnson's latest wax figure has gotten under the skin of some of his fans. But when The Rock himself ever so politely complained, the wax museum melted. CNN's Janine Moose reports.
First, they teased their new wax figure, then they unveiled The Rock in all his waxy glory, and now they have to fix it after finding themselves between The Rock and a hard place.
I kneel before no one.
Museum Gravin in Paris bragged that its artist spent 10 days meticulously working on his tattoos, but somehow managed to mess up the color of his skin. Instead of The Rock, one poster called him The Chalk, commented another, they turned you into Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
And then The Rock himself chimed in, amused more than angry, posting a riff by comedian James Jefferson that The Rock said made him belly laugh.
They turned The Rock into a pebble. It looked like The Rock about to be part of the royal family. I'm low-key offended.
The Rock's wrestler dad was black and his mom Samoan. The Rock said he would have his team reach out to our friends at the museum to work on updating my wax figure, starting with my skin color.
It looked like he worked at H&R Block or something like that.
Wrote one fan, I like my coloring of him more. The museum definitely got the message and posted, Our artists are already working on improving the waxwork of Dwayne Johnson. The Rock seems to have cleaned up this mess pronto.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Ginny Moose, CNN, New York.
Most Auburn students have probably had a class or two in the Mell Classroom building, but did you know that it is still relatively new to Auburn's campus? The Mell Classroom building was built as an add-on to the front of RBD Library in 2017. It features 26 EAST, or Engaged Active Student Learning classrooms, as well as 2 lecture halls. Mell also has 40 private student rooms that students can reserve to use with the DIBS program, located on the Auburn Library's website.
We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeye.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Lily Stewart.
And I'm Brady Huneycutt. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.